Today I've got a capacitor I'm replacing in a pressure washer. This is the motor capacitor. And you can see the one over on this side has shorted and pushed the top off of it and everything is blown out. It used to look like this, and this is the new one. The old one has these Spade lugs on it, and today's mission is to take these old Spade lugs and put them onto the new capacitor. So that way I will know that the Spade lugs are the right size, they will fit well, and I don't have to fuss around with it. Plus I don't have any of this size. So, how do you get the Spade lugs off of here? Okay, well the first step is I cut them off and I left about an inch, inch and a half. And let me do a close-up and I'll show you what happens next. So you can see there's two parts to the attachment. There's this part back here where it grips the plastic insulation, and there's a part up here where it grips the wires. And what we're going to do is, I've already started attacking this one. You peel up the plastic insulation part first. That's this one. So we'll peel that up. And then we're going to pull the plastic off of here, leave the wire in place, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, now I've got both of these ears up. And what I want to do is I want to pull the insulation off of here. If I'm lucky, the wires will come out, but it probably won't. But I'll pull the insulation off of here, and I may have to have a stripping tool to do it. But okay, so I've freed up the insulation, pull that off, and then we go on to the next step. Okay, insulation just slid off there with a little help from some needle nose pliers. And now you can see that these wires are crimped down inside there. What we want to do is we want to attack this one wire at a time. Some of the wires will be in the center, and when you pull on them, they will slide out, and that will basically make this little bundle smaller. And since it's smaller, it will try to come out of there, and it will just fall apart. So I will get I usually use my forceps, and I will just grab one wire at a time and pull on it and see if I can get it out of there. And again, once I do that, it will start falling apart. If not, I have to attack this and separate it, open it up. I usually use a very fine pointed tool. I've got some things like actually a safety pin or some very fine object like that, and you can set it like this and drive it down inside here, and it will pop those open. Be careful with your fingers while you're doing this. It's easy to pinch, poke, stab yourself. But let me go try to see if I can find some of the wires that are in the center of the bundle and start pulling those out. The easy way failed, so now I'm going to have to pry this open. And let me go find my tools for doing that, and I'll be right back. So here you can see what I'm doing. I've taken a little nail. The safety pin didn't work. Usually on a lighter weight one, safety pin, you can push it down there. But I took a little nail and I'm using a hammer, driving it down in there and opening up that. You can see I'm opening up this piece right there. And at some point these wires will just start falling out of there. But I have to do it on both halves, so I'm doing it on the top one right now, and then I have to go back in and drive it in there on the bottom one. And I don't need to open it up all that much. So the plan is to put it back in there, crimp it, and solder it. Okay? This is used in a pressure washer, and so water is an issue, corrosion, all that type of stuff. So I want a good connection that's not going to corrode on me. Okay, back to it. I've now opened up both sides enough that I've gotten all the copper out of there. Pull it out one by one. And I need to open it up some more so that I can get the new wire in there. The new wire has got a tinned lead on it, so I need to get that open a little bit. I'll tap in it. One of the dangers, obviously you don't want to stab yourself, but one of the dangers is you can put too much pressure on one end or the other and this thing will fold over, and because it's been worked, the metal has been worked a lot, it's kind of hard and a little bit brittle. So if you fold it too many times it'll break on you, so don't put too much pressure on it. Okay, let me go back and I need to work on opening those up. It was wanting to bend right here at this neck, so what I ended up doing is lightly holding it with a pair of pliers like this, setting it down on a piece of metal and tapping the nail in from the other end. So I've got this pried open. I'll get my nail out of there, and we'll go stick the wire in there, and we'll start reversing the process. So we got it pried open, and test it. Yes, looks like our wire is going to go in there. I need to trim off that wire a little bit, then we'll smash it down and solder it. Okay. Ready to go. Do the second one and we're done. On this second one I found an interesting trick which has helped me a lot. I start out with the smallest finishing nail I had, and then, can you see this? This one's bigger. got a little bit bigger size, and that helps a lot. So started driving it down there, again holding it with the pliers here to keep it from folding over. That trick helps a lot. And as you can see, I haven't got the copper cleared out of there, but I'll clear the copper out and then I'll use the bigger nail to expand it to the size where the wire will go through there. And here we are. Both sides are done and it's ready to install. I've used a few different tools today, from needle nose pliers, hammer, a couple sizes of small nails. One of my favorite tools for electronics work are these toenail clippers you can buy. This one's really an antique, but for clipping fine wires, for pulling stuff, for using as a little tiny pair of pliers, they work rather well. For unfolding the tabs on those connectors, yeah, it works really well. You do have to be careful about not nipping a chunk of skin out of yourself, but that's it. Okay, well, always use proper safety precautions when you're soldering and working with electricity. If you don't know, learn first. Hope you find this useful and interesting in your home improvements.